Hi guys, this is Allison, and today I'm going to be doing a different kind of video today. Basically what's going to happen today is I'm going to talk about representation in the media. So, yeah, and this also ties back into some life updates as well. So representation in the media, I feel like, okay, so specifically with what I deal with and so many other people deal with daily. Mental illness is a very important part of my life. I'm a very big advocate for that. I feel like we need to break the mental health stigma because a lot of people feel like they have to put on an act to be happy all the time. And I did that for like 3 years. I put on an act, pretended everything was fine when it wasn't. I was crumbling. I was breaking inside. I was dealing with depression, which... knowing me as, people know me as the happy-go-lucky, positive person, but I was breaking inside. I was putting on an act because I didn't want anyone to know that I wasn't happy, that I had no interest in the things I wanted to do. I wanted out. I wanted this life to end. And I am so thankful that I got the help that I needed, but it took a long time. I fought so many different things. I fought getting help. Literally, it was my secret to keep. And it was hard because I didn't want anyone to see that side of me. I wanted to put on an act of everything was fine. I'm doing great, you know, because it's like, it was kind of like, what do I have to be sad about? Like, I have a job, I have a great church, I have a great set of friends, I have a good family. Like, what do I have to be sad about? Like, why do I, you know, I shouldn't be sad. I shouldn't be depressed, but I was. And I feel like representation in the media, specifically for mental illness and physical disabilities, is so rare, but when you see it, it's so important. Representation matters. And it just does, because when you see someone in the media world dealing with this, or you see it on TV where mental illness is not taken as a joke, or it's not over-exaggerated, or it's not patronized. And then with the physical disability, you're not magically healed. You aren't seen as lesser or on the sideline. It's so important, and it needs to be more prevalent in society, and I feel like it's not, which is really sad because I feel like we, even with our physical disabilities and mental illness, I feel like we are such strong and powerful people. Heck, like, we fight to survive like every day against our own minds, against our own bodies that are telling us to give up, just to end our lives. And we fight every day to combat those feelings and to persevere and to not give up when we have every reason to give up. And so that's why I want to praise The 100 for showcasing that in their show. The 100, if you don't know what it's about, it's on the CW. The first 3 seasons are on Netflix, so go check it out. Leave a link in the description down below. It's such an incredible show. Now, it's not a show without its problems. Like, every show has its problems, for sure. But specifically dealing with mental illness and physical disabilities, it has been so spot on perfect. Because basically, it's a story about these teenagers who are sent down to Earth. They're juvenile delinquents. They're sent down to Earth to see if Earth's inhabitable. They lived up in a spaceship due to a nuclear apocalypse 97 years ago, but now they're going back down to Earth to see if it's inhabitable. And when they get down there, you know, nothing is as it seems. They're having to deal with so many hard choices. There's no black or white. Everything's gray. You know, everyone's a criminal. So it's like, who do you trust? And I feel like mental illness is portrayed so beautifully in this show. Like, it's real, it's raw, it shows the effects of the person dealing with it themselves, and also what mental illness, how it affects other people around you. Because mental illness doesn't just affect you, it affects your family, it affects your friend group, it affects everything. And I just love how it's portrayed so beautifully and real on this show. Like, the characters are not afraid to show emotion. They're not afraid to cry. They're not afraid to yell, to scream, to get upset, to get angry, just to feel hopeless. Because that's what, you know, when you deal with mental illness, that's what we experience. That's what I experience. You know, the feelings of hopelessness and despair, and you're not interested in what you want to do. Like, you're not interested in having fun with your friends, you know. And so, I'm just so thankful that that is shown, and it's real. And it's not even And I feel like sometimes the shows make it like there's too much of a, like it's kind of like an over exaggeration of the mental illness, but this show doesn't do that. Really all of the characters deal with PTSD, depression, anxiety, major mental illnesses in our society today that nobody wants to talk about. And I feel like it needs to be talked about, because the more we talk about it, the more normal it will become in our dialogue, and the more people will feel open to get help. Because when I was dealing with depression, I didn't want to get help because, you know, nobody talks about it. You know, like you're seen as lesser than, especially in the Christian community. You're seen as like at least I felt like in the Christian community that I have never heard anyone talk openly about depression, being a Christian. And so a lot of the feelings that, a lot of opinions that people have in the Christian community especially is, well, you just didn't pray hard enough, or you're just not a good Christian, or God is punishing you, you know. And thankfully I have such an amazing church community that has rallied around me and said, no, like, it's not because you didn't pray enough, you know, it's not because you weren't a strong enough Christian. God has blessed you with this to reach other people. Through depression, I'm able to reach other people for Him, and to show that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to need help, but you need to do that. Like, I had to do that on my own timeline. And it took 4 long years until I got the help that I needed. That's why I'm so thankful that the 100 showcases that, and that it's real, and the characters, but it's not over exaggerated. It's just a real part of their society, and it's accepted and it's normalized, which it should be. Another big factor that I love that the 100 deals with is physical disabilities. There's my favorite character on the show. This is going to be a spoiler. So if you don't want to get spoiled, come back and finish the rest of the video after you watch season 2 of the 100. Basically, one of the characters, Raven Reyes, she gets shot in season 1, and beginning of season 2, she loses the feeling in her left leg. And so she has trouble walking and is in constant pain. And chronic pain is real. Like, for someone who deals with that every day, like, you go to bed with chronic pain, you wake up with chronic pain. Like, it's a constant cycle you have to fight against and persevere and be like, no, I'm not just going to lay in bed. I'm going to fight against this pain, and I'm going to live my life. And I love how Raven Reyes, like, I love how the writers wrote her character, because she is such a strong, powerful female individual. Like, she's not sidelined by her leg injury. She is not, you know, like, she's not treated as like a side character. Like, she has a major arc in the story, which I feel like is so important. And I've been dealing with leg numbness for the past 6 months, where now it's becoming incredibly difficult to walk. It hurts to walk. My legs are very weak, and I feel like they're going to give out if I run. And that's been very difficult for me, to be perfectly honest with you. It's scary as hell. Thankfully, I have a big MRI coming up, so hopefully God's provision will be done. His will be done, and that they'll be able to figure out what's going on with my leg numbness and why it's hard to walk. And that's why I'm so thankful that the 100 deals with that, because I cannot think of any other show that deals with a physical disability like the 100 does, where the character is still badass and powerful and fierce and independent and sarcastic, but also allowed to have feelings, allowed to feel, allowed to break down, allowed to cry. It's not like, oh, everything's great. Like, no, like, having a physical handicap sucks, but I know that God's going to use this for His glory, and now I get to witness this to so many other people that I wouldn't have otherwise. That's why I'm just so thankful that this show gives me encouragement that I can get through this. That I see myself in Raven. I see myself in wanting to be independent, but due to my physical disability, I'm somewhat limited in my independence. But I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep fighting. I'm going to keep striving, keep persevering, keep praying that, you know, there will be a solution. But if not, I know God's still sovereign. He's still on His throne. And that's why I'm so thankful that the 100 does not magically fix Raven Reyes. She's not magically healed. She's not magically cured, because chronic pain, like, can't be cured. Like, there's no medicine that can take away our chronic pain. Like, I deal with chronic lower back pain. There's no, like, yeah, I can take, like, ibuprofen, which I'm thankful for, but there's no, like, you know, magic pill that can take away my pain, you know. And I just am so thankful that Hanzho didn't follow other shows where the character is like magically healed or like sidelined. Like Raven Reyes is my favorite character because she's so just legit and awesome. Like she's so powerful even with her physical handicap. So this is why representation matters, guys. We need to see it more in the media, and I hope to God that in the coming years that it will be seen more and mental illness will be talked about, and we need to break the stigma, break the silence. Talking about it helps so much. With physical and chronic pain, physical disabilities and chronic pain, like it's so refreshing to see that in the media, and I feel like it needs to be talked about more. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, I will leave a link down in the description, and you can ask me anything about my chronic pain or mental illness. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day, guys. Bye.